Hi everybody, Happy New Year from the Germantown Public Library here in Ohio. I am Ms Marcia and today we are doing journals, homemade journals. I hope you're going to enjoy doing these. They're very simple. Anybody can do it with a little help from mom. These are the ones that I made so that you can see the examples. Boys and girls can make them and you can write in them what your thoughts are or plans or how your day went, or even what you've been doing while you've been quarantined or off from school. I look forward to seeing the ones that you make. Everybody will get different fabric. When you come in, make sure that somebody tells me if it's a boy or a girl so that we can make sure that the fabric fits, because I'm sure little boys don't want flowers. Well, some might, but just so you have what kind you want, what kind of fabric you want, because I have both. Anyway, let's start out with how to do this. Everybody is going to get a kit. This is what your kit looks like. There are, everybody gets a fabric. Everybody gets a little pre-made book pages. I think there's about 10 pages, so 20 in all when you fold it in half. Everybody is going to get a piece of cardstock big, and everybody is going to get a small piece of cardstock, just like this, plus the outside edges of an old book. This is what we're going to start with. This is the base of our journal. So, the one thing you need that's not in the kit is glue. Pardon me. If you don't have any glue at home, you can either pick it up at any local store for about 50 cents to $1, or if you don't have that, you can always ask for some at the library, and I'll keep some up with the kits so that everybody has the glue to do this project. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our fabric out. You're going to lay it flat on the table in front of you. Try to put something under it so that you don't get glue all over mom's table, okay? Then we're going to take the hard copies of your book, lay the cut side in the middle so that it looks just like you can see right here. Okay, we want to make sure that it's symmetrical on both sides so that you have even sides coming in. If your fabric is bigger than this, I want you to take scissors, any kind of scissors that'll cut fabric, and I want you to cut it so that all four sides are about an inch wider than the books. And the books, I want them to be about 1/4 of an inch apart, unless you decide you want to add more pages to it, and you can do that. You can lay out your paper. This is just regular paper. Lay it out, trace the size onto another piece of paper, and you've got the right size. You can make more of these. But once you get to this point, I want you to take the small piece of cardstock, flip your book over. You know that your fabric's the right size. We're going to flip it over. We're going to put the books about this far apart. As you can see, it's about 1/4 of an inch. You're going to lay your cardstock, the small cardstock, right smack dab in the middle of it, and make sure that it fits. Then we're going to take glue, and where the spine of the old book was, I want you to put glue down, Elmer's glue, and I don't know if this one's going to come out, but there we go. Just like that on both sides. After you do that, I want you to take your finger and I want you to smooth it out so that it's not too heavy. Now, we don't want too much. You don't want it so heavy that it'll bunch up and look kind of yucky. Just like that, okay? Both sides, I want you to do this on. Once you have both sides done, all glued up, you're gonna take your cardstock, the little piece, make sure they're even, lay your cardstock down, and that will be part of the spine of your book, okay? Very simple, Very easy. Get the glue off my fingers. There we go. Flip it over just like that. Make sure it's even. You can move it while it's still wet, okay? So make sure it's even, just like that. Once you have it at that point, I want you to take glue again, and you're gonna glue the outside of your book. And I want you to put a generous amount, but not so much that it's gonna get all clumpy, okay? Take your fingers, smooth it out. Once you do that, flip it over, lay it smack dab in the middle of your fabric. And I want you to take something that's really heavy and put on it so that it dries without a bunch of wrinkles on it, okay? Try to make it smooth, pull your fabric out, make sure it's nice and smooth. Once you get that point done, we're gonna take the corners and you're gonna fold them in like this. Put some glue on the corner, fold it in evenly on both sides so it looks kind of like what you would do if you were wrapping a present. So fold it in just like that. See how that is? Okay, once you get that part done and glued, I want you to, I'm gonna get one that's already done. Here's a different one. I folded the edges. See how I folded the edges? They're all glued and ready to go. Once you get that part done, we're gonna take our glue again, if it'll ever come out. There we go. We're gonna take our glue again, and we're gonna do the exact same thing as you did on the corners. Take your finger, smooth it out. Always smooth it out so that it's not too heavy everywhere, okay? And then we're gonna fold it in just like that. See how nice and neat that looks? Very simple, but I want you to smooth it so that it's not too thick, okay? Now you're gonna do all 4 corners like that. And you want it to be as nicely folded as you can so that when we add the big piece of cardstock, it lays very flat. Okay, now that we've done this much, I'm gonna do one more corner so you can see exactly. There we go. Okay, so once we have, see how that looks? I want you to look really close. See how that looks? Nice and neat. Once you have that done, we're going to do the same thing that we did with the fabric with the cardstock. We're gonna put glue on. Actually, you can put it on the cardstock and smooth it out and then lay it on the book. So I want you to put glue all over the cardstock. It's either gray or brown, depending on which color your fabric is. And you're going to glue it, and then you're going to lay it inside of your book, just like that, all glued. And it will look like that with a little bit of edge on each corner. See how that looks? Okay, once that's all glued, you're gonna fold it in half, and you've got basically the book put together minus the pages, okay? Once we get to that point, you wanna make sure it's nice and glued down in the center and nice and glued so that it goes all the way in the middle. You don't want it to be kind of flappy up there in the middle. You want it glued very well in the middle. So once you get that done, we're gonna take the Elmers, another real simple step. Elmers again, straight down the middle, not too much because it'll get all over the sides. So we want to try and be a little bit careful. Take your book, stick it right on the Elmers, fold the book up, just like that. It'll all be glued on all corners at that point. And the way I did it was I took these clamps and I set them. It's kind of hard for me because I'm left-handed. Hold on. I put them on the bottom of the book, and then I set it on there, and it held it together. I used 2 clamps, but I don't know what happened to my other clamp now. So I used 2, one on each side. You can do it with 2 big soup cans or 2 big books, anything that's really heavy, to hold it straight up. And I want it to sit up like this, because that way the glue dries down at the bottom. It doesn't spread up all over the pages, and it makes for a nicer book. So I want you to try and do that at home. Either with, if you have clamps like this, you can use the clamps, use 2 at least, and it'll sit up like that with 2. Put 1 on each end. Or, like I said, books, canned goods, whatever you have that's heavy, that can squish it together and hold it straight up. And I want you to leave it for about till the next morning. And then by the next morning, it should be good to go. There you go. And if it's not, add a little more glue the same way and stick it together again and leave it for another 24 hours, and then it should be done. This one I made was the first one I made. As you can see, I got glue on the outside of it a little bit, but it's ready to go. Then I decided to make another one. This one's obviously frilly with glitter embellishments. So you can do whatever you want. You can add ribbon to it. You probably have lots of extra ribbon left over from Christmas. So get out the ribbon and put some on your fabric. It'll make it look really pretty. Or you can put stickers on it or whatever you want. You can draw on it if it's plain, like this one. You could actually probably use marker and mark right on it and make it your very own. When you're done, take pictures, send them to me. I want to see what you've done. I miss all of you so much, and I can't wait for us all to be back together again. Next week, we are doing a junk art contest. Believe it or not, from home, you get to do junk art. I'm going to give everybody starter kits. This is next week. This week is this. Next week is junk art contest. Be ready, because we're going to have a contest, and the top 3 creations are going to win art kits from Ms Marcia. So can't wait to see you next time. Have a great day. Happy New Year. It's got to be better than 2020 was. And I'll see you next time.